Welcome back. Anticipation for one of South Africa's most popular horse racing events, the Durban July, is gaining steam. The annual event takes place at the Greyville Race Course in Durban on the 1st of July. Now, the event is known to attract the who's who in the media, sport, business, and betting industries. For what we can expect from the 2023 edition, I'm now joined by Sazi Ngcobo, a director at Rusco and Boomtown events. Thank you so much for joining us, Sazi, this evening.
Thank you for having me, Kataha.
It's an absolute pleasure. 13 years on, the Hollywood Bets Durban July is a spectacle that everybody wants to attend. It's the highlight of many of the events that happen on the South African calendar. But the Boomtown marquee is one that everybody wants to get themselves into. What's your secret sauce at the Boomtown marquee?
Well, thank you for the introduction. And I think the special thing about Boomtown is, like you said, we're 13 years on now. We are essentially a festival within the Durban July itself. So right. It's not just about the horse racing with us. It's about the lifestyle, about being present at a social calendar event where you get to have fun, dress up, look the part, and enjoy a wonderful music experience as well.
Now, this year's event is happening on the 1st of July, and the theme is out of this world.
Yes.
What out-of-this-world experience will people then experience at the Boomtown marquee this year?
Well, I think the big thing for this year as well is that it's probably the first year in 3 years that we've actually been able to throw a Boomtown event without COVID restrictions.
Yes.
So we finally have the leashes off so we can actually have maximum capacity, and that's why we want to give an experience that is out of this world. So from the music lineup, starting off some of the artists we have, some of the biggest names in South Africa, to the actual experience itself on the ground. So our VVIP experience to our VIP experience to something special for everyone on the ground as well. So that is our plan this year, is to bring back Boomtown in the way that people know it from the past, pre-COVID.
Speaking of COVID, I mean, COVID-19 dealt a blow to many outdoor events, especially with the hard lockdowns. What are some of the lessons that you guys learned as Boomtown that you would now be incorporating in this event and in other events going forward? So
I think the big lesson we learned as an events industry in general is more around you don't necessarily need everything that you thought you needed before.
Right.
So what we've done, we've scaled down on the unnecessary things, but then up-leveled and scaled up on the important things, the things that bring the lifestyle to play. So, for instance, you may not need as many plants, but the music experience is quite key. And that's something we focus a lot on this year, to bring that to the forefront and make sure that people leave there with a touch of Boomtown, essentially.
Speaking of a touch of Boomtown, we know that the Durban July on its own is a huge tourist attraction during that time of the year. Let's just talk about the economy around it. With Boomtown specifically, how many jobs do you create? We know that with Durban July, we're expecting a over 300 million contribution towards GDP. What's your contribution towards that?
So, talking about Boomtown in general, or Durban July in general, a big part of why we forced and we fought so hard to have it present is that it contributed so many temporary labor jobs, over about 20,000. Boomtown also contributing the thousands of that. And in an economy that we're living in right now, it's crucial that we have such events and such experiences that give back to the general population. And Durban July in whole gives back from the whole weekend point of view. And our part is a very small part in that, but a significant part in that we hold a lot of the equity in the sense that people come to Durban for Boomtown. So we know our role is that we're not just about the experience, but about giving back to the community, giving back to society, and also giving back to people on the ground who just need that temporary day job just to go home and be able to feed their families.
Speaking of that experience, can you let us in on who some of the top acts who will be performing at Boomtown this year? So
we're currently revealing our lineup day by day.
Okay.
I can give you a little hint of some of the big ones right now that we've released. So we've released Blackie, who, as we all know, is one of the biggest artists in South Africa right now.
Right.
Also making waves globally. 10 Oceans, who's an exciting young female DJ doing Afro pop and electro house music. And then, of course, we've got DJ Fresh, who's a classic and a legend in the game. And you always have to throw back to the guys who gave us the opportunity to be where we are right now.
Most certainly. We know that a lot of people that go to Boomtown aren't that really interested in the horses, right? And we know that Sparkling Water won in 2022.
Yes.
Should Sparkling Water, the horse, return in 2023? Who are you betting on?
So it's funny you ask that, because I don't like to say who I'm betting on, because every time I say, people hold me accountable for it. And when they lose, or when we lose, they expect me to pay up for it. So I'd rather say, come to the day itself. Let's all experience the horse racing together and see who wins on the day and make it exciting, because in Boomtown we also show the main race on the main screen as well. So we make the horse racing a big part of it, even though it's not the highlight and main focus. But we want people to enjoy the horse racing as much as they enjoy the musical experience as well.
Lastly, Sazi, for someone who will be attending and who will be in the Boomtown marquee, what advice would you have for them to be able to maximize on their experience?
So, like we touched on earlier on, it is tough economic times right now. So I think to maximize on the experience, I'd say maybe get to Ticket Pro right now. Get your tickets early because we're currently running 3 phases of tickets. Right now we're running our phase 1 tickets, which are, as you would expect, discounted, which allows people to, 1, plan better for the weekend, 2, save up so you can actually enjoy the day better as well, and 3, plan your outfits as well, because I know you can't just come in a bogat.
No way. Sazi, thank you so much for joining us this evening, and I know, of course, this is a huge highlight on the South African calendar, and for you to contribute to that GDP in the way that you will, we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me.